Hi, Lou Manfredini, Ace's home expert, and we're here at Rust-Oleum with Lisa. Thanks for having us here.
Thanks for having me.
How many different paints do you think Rust-Oleum makes?
Thousands.
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 Okay. One of them is chalk paint, and that is a pretty popular line of paint right now.
It's a really popular finish. It is a super matte finish.
Right.
It looks very rustic. It's easy to distress. A lot of really on-trend colors.
Got it. Well, we've got a couple of examples of basically garage sale items. And so, I love the fact that you can use the chalk paint and really paints in general to rejuvenate and bring things back to life. This particular one is a little bit more detailed. And so you've got a spray version, which would be perfect for this.
Right, because all of those little nooks and crannies, it would be, if you painted that over, you'd kind of fill that up with the paint, and you really want to highlight all those beautiful features.
Right. And on this table, very inexpensive at a resale shop or garage sale, it's got a little bit of a gloss finish. Now, you did mention that the chalk paint is something that doesn't require a lot of prep, but what about a glossy surface like this?
Yeah, any glossy surface should be lightly scuff sanded. You'll see there's some wrinkling here, so you kind of just want to rub that lightly. The chalked paint doesn't require a primer, but for something like this, you would definitely just want to scuff it up a bit.
Okay, now I took the handle off of this particular one. On this item, we're going to actually brush paint the chalk paint on there. What other prep work do you think we should do?
Well, we should definitely tape off these pretty metal edges and the wheels here.
Okay.
And then we'll want to lightly scuff sand the top and wipe that clean.
All right, sounds good. Let's get this prepped up and let's see what the chalk paint looks like. Okay, nice job on the prep work.
Thank you.
We lightly sanded it down, a little bit of the deglossing, wiped it all down. This particular color is called Coastal Blue. It's a really nice blue. Now with the chalked paint, it really is something that you're going to put on with a brush. It's not something you're going to roll. And even though there's not a ton of detail here, I'll go ahead and take the drawer out a little bit, and I'm going to do that last. But I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up to kind of go back around. It wouldn't surprise me if we're going to have to do a couple of coats here because of the darkness of the color. But we'll see. It is one coat coverage, and you'll get a feel for it right away. And the thing is, with all these nooks and crannies, you want to, as you're applying it, what you'll notice with a chalked paint, there's a little bit of a drag because of the chalk that's actually in there, and that's what gives you that kind of relaxed finish on the top. And so you're going to take your time, because when you're all said and done, you want to have this be the final thing that you put the finish on, because that's what your eye is going to be drawn to. Okay, we did our table, we brushed that on, but with this ottoman, with the detail, spray painted, it makes more sense.
Right, absolutely, because you'll be able to see all of this through and those light, even coats. We wanted to make sure that we covered the top of this, which is a cushion, to protect that from the overspray.
Got it. With the chalk paint with the spray, just like any of your aerosol sprays, there's a marble at the bottom. You got to shake it for about 2 minutes, and it may take a little longer to hear that marble because the paint's a little bit thicker.
Right. We always want to be in a well-ventilated area, so I have our door open here.
Got it. All right. So then we also, prior to this, used a little soap and water mixture to wipe this down to get any oil or grease off there. And then I'm just going to go ahead and flip it over and start at the bottom, and we'll start spraying it off. Okay, I think it looks great.
Me too.
Both of these really came out nice. A little trick, you actually told me about this one. We took the cover off of this, and that detail that we talked about, sometimes the spray paint, because of the way you tape it, you may miss a couple spots. Put a little of the paint in a paper cup and an artist brush, and you can kind of fill in those areas.
Right.
But talk to me a little bit about some other things you could do, the clear coating or distressing. We don't really need to clear coat this.
So this item is going to be in a place where it's not going to get much wear and tear, so we don't need to clear coat it. But if we wanted to, we can spray on a clear coat that's a matte finish that will protect it.
Right.
For something like this is going to get a lot of wear and tear. People might play board games on it. You might have glasses, so you really want to protect it. with a clear matte finish. It goes on milky, so you can see where you've hit and where you have some open spots. You can also distress the edges before you put on that matte clear to give it a little more texture. But something like, let's say you wanted to paint a picture frame, you wouldn't necessarily want to use a clear coat on that because people aren't touching it as much.
Right, that's really neat. Coming up, we've got a video on spray painting hardware, which I think you'll find super interesting, and it's a great way, like we did on this table, mix metals. It's very hot right now. If you need more information, go to acehardware.com, and you can always go to your local Ace Hardware store because Ace is the helpful place.